Namaste, everyone, and welcome. I am Sri Ram Ka.
And I am Kira Raa, and welcome to Saturday and Exploring the Mysteries. We are extraordinarily delighted. This is a hand-to-heart, really pay attention moment. We are really still coming out of the extraordinary energy that was generated as part of our Mastery Mentorship monthly ceremony this morning. So we want to give a shout out to all of you that are here, that were with us for that extraordinary journey. And hey, Sri already has both the video and the audio posted. So if you missed us live, go into your app. Remember the app, you can download the app at Apple or Google Store, Spiritual Mastery with Sri and Kira, and you can go connect with the really, I don't know, I think we're still floating in the energy of what happened this morning. And we have so much to share today.
A wonderful gathering of spirit, and it was wonderful to be with everyone. And here we are in another beautiful spiritual gathering to share some information about this coming month of July and to celebrate the acknowledgement that the lineage holders are gathering. That is an amazing thing. This is the first time we've seen such a coalescing, such an agreement, such a commitment come forward in this fashion. Consciously, proactively, lovingly, and now.
You know what Sri's trying to share is that this is a miracle, and it is a miracle in motion, and he's kind of picking off where we left off from the ceremony. So let's back up for all of you that were not with us this morning and kind of get you caught up as to what's happening. So first and foremost, welcome tfrlive.com. We are delighted to be broadcasting with you today and all of the affiliates that are out there, iHeartRadio, and too many for us to name. In addition, we are over at Oneness Talk Radio.com, where you can chat, you can watch on the video. It's right there. Scroll down on the home screen and listen audio if you prefer. And lastly, Sri, we're also at YouTube Oneness Talk
Facebook.
Radio. So today's YouTube is the Oneness Talk Radio.
Oneness Talk Radio YouTube channel and Facebook Oneness Talk Radio channel as well.
Wonderful. So welcome. Now, last but not least, as I'm watching the call board fill up, remember you can give us a call and get in the queue. You can give us a buzz, 517-208-1500. Again, 517-208-1500 to share your commentary, ask us a question, or of course, mini soul readings.
Absolutely. Well, now picking up where I left off, and thank you for getting us officially started.
Yeah, always a good thing to do, right?
You know, it's important to recognize that we are in the middle of a grand event, and this July event is unlike the energy that's been on this planet prior to this time. And, you know, oftentimes when we do our radio shows, Kira and I are talking about different spiritual topics, teaching techniques, and offering perspectives that we feel are useful. Well, we will continue to do that. However, we are in the middle of something special right now.
Whew, breathe into that. You know, even as you shared that, Sri, I just felt my heart jump. I just felt my breath go, huh. And let's talk about this. So, my angels, as we have entered into this July energy, let us not forget that this is the second month of the miracle of the rise of the lineage holders. And this is what Sri is talking about.
Yes.
The rise of the lineage holders was not a preordained moment. This was not something that was just going to happen. This is, and the way we keep describing it is, this is very much like deep within you. You have had, we describe it as almost like a cosmic heart. It's like this beautiful gossamer energy. It's this heart energy that exists really deep within. And it's that kind of knowing that you know it's always been there. You've touched it. You've connected with it. But yet there's always been this sense of when and if. Mm-hmm. And this is the when/if moment. It is right now. Now, we're going to dive into this over this weekend because the energy that is opening up in this moment right now and is going to carry us all the way through to next week is that honesty heals. And I want you to really take that in. And there's so much to share around why we're sharing this and why this is coming up right now. And right alongside of honesty healing, running ignites. And so what does that really mean? Why is that coming up? Well, it's coming up because of what Shri's been kind of teasing you with a little bit here at the opening of the show. I want you to bring your hands to your heart right now. And we're going to share something that we were not going to share unless you were in the Lineage Holders class. This is actually part of what we'll be talking about in class 1, but it seems that it needs to be said. And so I want you to just bring your hand to your heart. And as you do, as you allow yourself to just be in the space of this moment, right here. And Shri, let's let them look at our graphic. Shri and I, if you're watching us, you see this beautiful spiraling energy and this ignition that's coming out and the way that all these energies are working. Well, we are at a profound moment where in order to be able to reclaim resolution, which is the energy of July wrapped around that Mercury retrograde, we all must, it's not even an option, those of us that are awake, that choose to, then we must collectively come together, go outside the boundaries of this space and time, where we can literally be the witnesser that is witnessing ourselves. And that happens in the 7th dimension. And so the last time we did this, because yes, you have done this before, bring your hand back to your heart. You already know what we're going to say, right? The last time we did this was during the culminating days of Atlantis. And at that time, we made an agreement, as many of us scattered back out into other areas, we made a collective agreement that we would be here right now as support, that we would come forward if asked, and you're being asked. Yeah. That's the miracle that opened in June. And Shri and I are still kind of breathing in that miracle ourselves, and in the energy that's birthing this week. And this is why, really, please be with us tomorrow as well at noon Pacific time. We're on 1 hour earlier tomorrow. This is why it's important to understand both what's happening in the fields of quantum space-time, what has been happening from January that culminated June 30th, how we have revealed what's before us now, and that this beautiful gathering of the masters that came forward in June did accomplish the goal. I mean, we had those bona fide miracles within days of both of our journeys.
Hold on, time out here.
Yeah, okay, time out of time, right?
Because when we gathered for the core journey,
remember, didn't that seem like a year ago?
Of resurrection energy.
Woo!
We were manifesting something
yes.
About claiming our authenticity. And in that claiming of the authenticity, it means resurrecting that which you truly are. So let's just stop there for a second and let that in. To resurrect is to be that which you are. It isn't to heal an error. It's to be fully you. And that happens to include walking through any kind of death or disease or whatever else is going on, because all of that is illusion.
Yes.
And so the core journey that happened in early June brought forward a cohesive energy. The attendees were there. We were together in ceremony, and together we future-paced. We stepped out of this dimensional frequency, and as Kira shared earlier, we went forward in time. To go forward in time and to claim the gift of the wisdom that would have been accumulated for over many months is now here now.
And had to be. Remember, that was the objective, that energy, that empowerment, your mastery. Because as we mentioned during our Mastery Mentorship gathering this morning, but I do think we should interject right now because I kind of hear some people thinking this question. The reason you can do this without creating any interference is because it is our own mastery presence that is witnessing and moving through these multidimensional portals through time space. And then when we claim it in, we bring it within ourselves for the highest service of all. And so those are kind of like the safeguards. And that's why this is a very important thing, because it can only be done collectively. And so all of you that were with us live know what happened in June. All of you that registered and got the videos know what happened in June. And all of you that missed it, get it. Let's get you going.
So this fabulous coherent energy of the group traveling forward, of the group saying we are here.
Remember, we went to 2 future dates and claimed 2 very powerful future energies.
Well, that set forward call it a new harmonic in the collective energy field.
Okay, we will.
Let's call it the new harmonic.
Let's call it that.
And you know what happened simultaneously on another side of the world? A crop circle appeared in France. And the crop circle that appeared wasn't just a crop circle. It contained the same symbology as what we were sharing in the class.
The night before. It literally manifested almost in real time. And what is so profound is that we had that same thing happen on the second journey. Now, my loves, I just, with all of our heart and soul, want to share with you that we are at one of those tipping point moments. And that's what the July resolution energy is all about. Let us not forget that the entire energy of July is about resolution. That as this rise of the lineage holders continues, there is this ascension resolution energy, and all are finding that. And what's so important to recognize is that there is a, I don't want to use the word containment field, but there is an energy. And this has happened due to the collapse of the fourth dimension. And Shri and I started talking about the collapse of the fourth dimension many, many years ago. Yes. Please go to our YouTube channel, official Shri and Kira, and look for that video, the collapse of the fourth dimension, because what you will now understand even more and really see the progression from the time that video came out until exactly what happened now is that because the fourth dimension started destabilizing, then the third dimension started getting more pressure. And so the third dimension got tighter, it got heavier, it got more dense. And so this is exactly what you're seeing. However, because that fourth dimensional space essentially destabilized, causing the collapse, what happened and where we are now is that the fourth dimension itself is collapsing upon itself, thereby the blur between the third and fourth dimension. Now, how do you know this is happening? This is why you see a rise in conspiracy. This is why you see a rise in polarity. This is why you see a rise in things that try to keep you angry. Because through this blending of the energy, what has happened is you have this high intensity pressure on the third dimension, and then you have this fourth dimension that if I was to imagine the fourth dimension as like a strata, almost about 55% of it is now pretty much become coagulated into this condensed third dimensional energy. And this is why we're seeing what's happening. Now, why is this important? Well, there's a lot of reasons it's important. Most beings that are lifting, that are awakening, are first and foremost needing to awaken beyond the planetary thought body. And the planetary thought body has reached an all-time high as far as fear, because it has taken the fear energy into all of its infinite expressions, and its food is anger. And so anger right now is food for those disincarnate, they're like goopy, this kind of mixture of fourth and third dimensional energy that is attached to your ego. And the reason we're sharing this is that every being on the planet, every being in this co-creative experience right now doesn't need to believe it or not, but at some point you will have to face those that, whatever word you want to put on it, is using your energy field for food in the fourth dimension. And when you can look your ego in the eye and be honest about it, then you heal through it. And this is why this is important, because this energy is right now, this minute, starting, I mean, literally now, it started a little bit last night, into the entire Mercury retrograde. And so this is going to be here all the way through the 30th. However, it's going to come on this week, which means what? It means that when we are honest enough to look at ourselves, that's universal responsibility. That sends the signal to the universe that we're ready for more, that we are miracle co-creators. And so sending the signal that we understand that this is a beacon for the lineage holders to really come forward is a powerful gift in a powerful month.
Yes. You know, we are at really a choice point.
Yes.
And
yes.
There's a lot of topics that could be sprung forward from what Kira has shared, because people who are deep in the activity of density-based consciousness, that are living in that, don't even realize the entrapment that is going on, the illusion, delusion that is going on. And these frequencies of the fourth dimension in the past, those were strictly the energies of the disincarnates, the energies of free-floating. Well, the planetary thought body had so much free-floating fear and anger and rage and all of that stuff, and the disincarnate energies. But think about it for a moment. That which has not anchored in love becomes bound with that which is unlike love. Play with that. So these disincarnate energies and in frequencies are all bound around the planet of density and density consciousness, and they get into this dynamic of amplifying that which is dysfunctional. I call them dysfunctional cheerleaders, or cheerleaders of a dysfunctional reality. And scrolling back, not that long ago, but I know when I was first really spiritually curious, and I wanted to learn about channeling, and I wanted to learn about looking beyond the veil. The first thing you bump into are those frequencies of the disincarnate energies.
Yeah, and can I jump in on that? Because this is, and I want you to come right back to this. This is why normally early on in our journey, we're very preoccupied about protection. Or we might be working with people that talk to us about why we need so much protection. Well, that is true until you break free of that strata, because it is only that strata. And the way we described it earlier today on our Mastery Mentorship ceremony, it's like being able to ignite this crystalline tube that allows you the lift through the fourth into the fifth, where you're aware, you're seeing it all, but it doesn't stick. It can't affect you. What it is offering you is the blessing of the experience and the opportunity to be aware.
And so this fourth dimensional is kind of Velcro to the third dimensional energy, this squeezing and getting tighter and tighter. And what that's doing is it's actually either completely seducing those who are anchored.
Most are seduced right now.
And it's real, and that's it,
Yep.
and blah, blah, blah. Or it's going to, those that are holding a higher frequency, especially those of you that might be straddling the fence a little bit, are going to be feeling uncomfortable. There's a sense of, this isn't quite it. This isn't right. I don't feel good. I'm spinny. I'm not, it's not right.
Literal spinny. And just to share with some of you that are watching, we did last weekend say we were going to put out a 15-minute video about July. We will try to still do that. However, the reason that did not happen this week was, as all of you know, this has been a big week, right? This culminating week. We had the July came in and went boom, here I am.
Yep.
And so we had this extraordinary new moon where it was like we're diving in, and we're either diving in consciously and saying yes to the experience, or we're diving off the high platform going, I have no idea. Either way, you were diving. And then that was met by this very intensely profound full solar eclipse. Well, at that exact moment, we had to rush our beloved Sri back to the hospital, and he wound up spending another night in the hospital. And it was due to dizziness and the inability to be able to find any sense of center at all. And so talk about diving into the void.
Well, yeah, and anytime we're between dimensional strata, there is that turbulent moment.
Right.
And I know for myself, I had extreme vertigo for a night, and I mean really extreme. It was
he could not walk. We had to carry him.
I was throwing up the whole thing, and it's just a moment. But the moment is symbolic. The moment
that's why we're sharing.
Informative.
Right.
Many of you have had your moments of feeling off balance, and to whatever degree that happens. Many of you have had the moments of thinking, am I going crazy?
Yes.
And these are all part and parcel with the dimensional shiftings, because it's not like you're standing in an elevator watching the monitor that goes 32, 33, 34.
Although it could feel that way.
There's no number readout. You just are there. You're just doing it. And in the doing it, parts of you are fully aware of the frequency you're at, and other parts of you, your attention is focused over here. And this is the gift.
Yeah, it is the gift.
Whenever we have an illness or an accident, we are given an opportunity to unhook from a pattern.
Yeah.
That's the gift of it. Unhook from a pattern, which sometimes means unhooking from a level of consciousness, unhooking from a paradigm.
I want to jump in because as we were talking about this July energy and the power-filled resolution, This is the second month of the miracle rise of the lineage holders. And I want to put up the 2019, and Shri, are we still talking now?
Yep,
Are we
yep,
okay?
we're
Okay.
good.
So guys, if you're watching us, I've just put up the 2019 overview. And let me just share with you that when these energies come in, and lately it's been the divine directors that have really been taking over this extraordinary moment, and when these energies comes in, they always about the end of the year, usually around October, November, we receive predictions for the entire year through whatever group is coming through for the year ahead. We were shown very clearly that this year of divine awareness, this is what I want to show you. If you gaze at this again, look at January, it was seeing the truth. February, we were being literally prepared. We started learning how to navigate those parallel timelines. And this is all very important to recognize that we have been prepared for this moment. This is not a, by the way, let's go forward. You've been prepared. And then March was about this reinvention, about calling forward through the truth and having navigated those timelines. And then April, the illusion came back, if we wanted it to be, because April was the culmination of that first cycle within a cycle on April 16th. So since April, how have things been for you? What have you noticed? And then in May came the core experience, and it was really an extraordinary opportunity because the critical mass did awaken into the core in May. And because of that, you see that purple circle on May that goes all the way through to November? Because of the core awakening in May, it ignited the miracle rise of the lineage holders in June in the harmonic frequency of the Ascension frequency adjustment. And you'll notice that when this was created from July to December, and if you look down, you'll see it says in creation as part of core acceleration. That cycle has opened up right now. It is from right now until December, the very end of the year. It's the very last moment of the year. However, I want you to look up. From August 15th through November 5th is going to be the second cycle within the cycle. And do you see how this creation acceleration must birth and carry the energy to balance that second cycle within the cycle that will be within this creation cycle. So this is a beautiful moment. And the best way for me to describe this to you is to remember that July, August, September, October, November, December, none of those energies were given to us early this year. It ended with the June Ascension frequency adjustment. And because we came together as the masters of the core in June, it brought forward the miracle, I'm going to call it core activation of the lineage holders. So this is important to understand because this is all happening outside of this dimension. And we have so much more to share with you about this. And we're going to talk a lot more about this on the second half of the show. We have tons of people holding. I promise we'll get to all of you. If you want to get into the queue, 517-208-1500.
Yes.
Because I want to, from my heart to yours, Shri and I would like to make a plea. And in 17 years of public service, we have never made a plea like this. However, the divine directors have made it abundantly clear that if we can gather just 444 at minimum, when we begin this lineage holder journey, which begins on the full moon, July 16th, be there, please. If we can put 444 minimum together, even if you're not there live, as long as you're registered, that is the critical mass that will cement this miracle and lead to the rocket jettison of the core creation that will balance that August to November pop moment. And this is really a blessing for all of us, because this is what we were sharing earlier. This kind of like the second heart energy, that cosmic heart energy we were talking about, that's where all the lineage holder energy is. And this is a very extraordinary experience. And the last time we did this collectively was during the culminating days of Atlantis. And the fact that we are here now is not only a miracle, it means that we have an ancient soul agreement. and we are collectively bringing it forward. And Shri, I think we should share with them that, the Divine Directors have also offered us many easy ways to help as many people. Help us get there. I just have to share, our Shri and Kira, our official Shri and Kira YouTube channel has close to 18,000 subscribers. Can we just bring 444 of us together, please, for this one moment?
Yes. And the reason that we are actively asking for your support is that this is a positive step in co-creative consciousness that will have an incredible ripple effect throughout our shared environment. Very important. That's for the shared environment. Very important for you who are ready to lift to the next place in your journey, because you can't go anywhere that your soul doesn't want you to go.
That's true.
There isn't any hocus pocus here. What we're doing is releasing the restraints. This is about freedom. This is about alignment. This is about honesty and beauty and joy coming forward. Now,
I'm just losing my breath. Go ahead.
And so please go to shriandkira.com, click on the events page, and there we've detailed how, if you are called, because this is a heart call.
This is a heart call.
We want people to be able to come who may not have the funds right now. So if you are willing to help sponsor somebody, we're creating a scholarship inventory. We're helping to build the number of folks that can attend consciously. And
please, if you're one of the people that says, even at the minimum Shakti exchange of $44, that's just too much for my budget, send us, go to shriandkira.com, go to the page, click on the help me get on the scholarship fund list, and let's see if we can help your miracle come true. The rise of the lineage holders is a miracle. And the more that we can help other people's miracles manifest, the greater the miracles manifest and the faster the miracles manifest in our lives. And so the Divine Directors were very clear. So it's $44 for this entire program.
That's 3 consecutive weeks.
Right. It's 3 journeys. And remember, and we're going to talk about this in the second half of the show, how we're all going to have to live up into the 7th dimension. We have so much to share. It's a big, big show today and tomorrow. When you join with us, if you can sponsor one other person, then you both get in for less. And so there's a $59 where it gives you your program, your journey, and it goes to the scholarship fund for someone else. Or if you have 4 people that want to register together, it's $99, which means it's $25 for each one of the 4 of you, and we will donate another space to the scholarship fund. The Mastery Mentorship team is donating to the scholarship fund. Just please help us spread the word. It's #lineage holder. There is a new trailer that we just put up at our official Shri and Kira YouTube channel. Watch it, like it, post it, send it. We are really asking for your help. We cannot share enough what an important moment in history this is. And I know a lot of you, as I'm sharing this with you, are feeling it. You're noticing it. You're recognizing it. This is that moment that together we are honestly better. And when we can collectively lift, and we're going to talk about that right after the break, which I think we're coming up on, we're going to talk about why this lift is important, what's happening on the planet, what honesty and healing will do for you, and what running and igniting are doing for a lot of others.
Let me just emphasize this last thing. Here comes the slide.
There it is.
We are better together. And we're going to keep going. We're not going to take a station break here because I really just want us to enjoy the flow that is upon us.
Well, we're loving it. We are totally loving it. It's wonderful. And Shri, if that's the case, let's go to the hiding or freedom. So I'm asking Shri to put up this right now because remember this, guys? This was the June energy. The June energy was about relaxing into who we are, really trying on our mastery, really living our truth, and recognizing that if we're hiding, we're lying, and kind of coming to peace with that if we are, but that if we are being, we are free. And it is that energy, and it was that June experience through this ascension frequency adjustment that has now culminated from January 1, 2019 through to June 30th, 2019. And so we would invite you, what have you had to go through? What did those first 6 months reveal? What in this year of divine awareness has come forward? Because right now, as of July 1 and hitting us strong with that solar eclipse and the new moon, we are in this core creation until the end of November. And so this core creation is a cradle. And if you look again at that graphic, let me just put the graphic up again so you can understand. You'll see that that core creation acceleration is the cradle. It's like the pillow. It's the bumper. It's the softening of that second cycle within the cycle that's going to open on August 15th. And this is why coming together in July is not optional for Shri and I. And it's why Shri and I mean, literally, I think I'm putting in 20 hours a day right now. But honestly, guys, we are not marketing geniuses. We have no clue what we're doing on social media, as is evidenced by what you see. Help us, please get it out there, because all we need is a minimum of 444 to hit this critical mass and jump into this hyperspace experience. And so, Shri, I'm going to turn it over to you. Do you want to share? Do we want to take callers? Do we want to talk about the hyperspace experience?
Well,
how should we flow?
Well, as we're wrapping up talking about the lineage holder,
let's do that.
I just want to share a little bit that part of what will be offered to you during these 3 journeys, once a week for 3 weeks, is how to bring your life into an authentic alignment as well. This isn't just about the journeys, but the journeys are potent, powerful, and revelatory because they open up an energy and a recognition. It's also about how to live.
Yes.
Because when we bring these frequencies in, we then need to deploy this energy into action in our lives. Yeah. And that's one of the things so many people who are on spiritual paths oftentimes don't give enough attention to. When we have our realizations, when we have the openings, we must, is my belief, but it is useful to extend that through everything that we are and do.
Oh yeah.
And learning how to align in that way. The other thing that we talked about, and this is kind of a teaching moment that's important to remember, is that honesty is the natural extension of authenticity.
Exactly.
Excuse me. You can be authentically a crook. You can be authentically ascended.
That's all true.
Authenticity has a congruence energy around it.
Exactly.
However, honesty is a willingness to see what is, a willingness to acknowledge what is without having to paint it to conform to an acceptable paradigm or belief system.
I love that.
And so honesty is liberating, because when we are in our beingness and we are honest, there is freedom. Nothing can touch you. Nothing, it's just, here we are.
But, can we go more further with that? So in this energy of honesty is healing, right? And running is igniting. We can, if we are honest with ourselves, and as Shri mentioned, you could be honestly a crook. Well, if you're really honest with yourself about that, then you are going to heal yourself around that. Remember that this information, this energy, exists in the 5th dimension, and then through our presence. Remember, it's sincerity, love, and presence is the miracle formula, right? Sincerity plus love plus presence equals miracles. So when we bring that in, when we call that in, what we're doing is by bringing it in from the 5th dimension, we are no longer affected by this 4th dimension. And thereby we are able to be in clarity with a body that is experiencing the 3rd dimension, because we all know of the 4 knowns that were gifted to us by the beautiful benevolent ones. What's the first of the 4 knowns? I am not this body. And so when we recognize that it is the co-creative experience of the body through a planetary thought body, and that there is this really strong, the way we described it during the Mastery Mentorship, and if those of you that have the app, both the video and the audio are up, go tune into this morning in the ceremony. The 3rd dimension is like, it's opened up, the way we're describing it, it's like a black hole, but it's not a black hole of creation. When I gaze at it, it's like this goopy, nasty, there's even like an odorous hole, and people are throwing themselves into it because of their anger. Remember, anger is the food. And so they feel justified. They feel that this will support them. Well, here's what's happening on the other side, guys, and let's talk about it, because this really ties into what you were sharing. Yeah. 5th dimension, right? We have all been, Shri and I, 15 years ago, put out the Living in the Fifth Dimension series. We have been living, we're well beyond living there now, but we are very experienced with the fifth dimension, being in the fifth dimension. We've had lots of beautiful people we've worked with over the years that we kind of got there to hold it open. And what I'm sharing with you is this. When we go into the fifth dimension now, when I gaze at the fifth dimension, since we've had all these openings, right? Imagine the fifth dimension is this beautiful sacred container of energy. And that you are this beautiful being in the fifth dimension. And if we remember the formula, I'm going to start up at the ninth dimension. The ninth dimension, you become the witness again. Okay, it's at a whole other level. But you become the witness, witnessing seventh dimension, and that's what we're going to talk about in just a minute. The witnesser, which is the fifth dimensional you, of the witness that's having this third dimensional experience. Well, when you can anchor in the fifth dimension, the energy of the witnesser is compassion. And so by staying in the fifth dimension, you embody compassion. And it's empowered compassion, which is very unique from disempowered compassion. And what's happening due to this fourth dimensional destabilization, it has not collapsed totally to where we're going to have a fifth dimensional experience. But the fifth dimension is like this. And I think this is why you went to the hospital, Shri. When we stay in the fifth dimension too long lately, what we're noticing is that we're now, rather than being this embrace around the fourth dimension, we have become like a shock absorber. And it's wavy. And this wave is starting all the way in the center of the densest part of the earth. Hence, we're going to start seeing a lot of rocking and rolling in the earth. And then it moves out into the fourth dimension. And then now in the fifth dimension, we're all having vertigo. This is why the lineage holders were activated. This is why we can only approach this from the seventh dimension. And this is why the Divine Directors invited us to make sure that we came together on the full moon, July 16. Please be there, because together we're going, you see this? We're going right there. We have to go into our own seventh dimension, because in the seventh dimension, we're witnessing, right? So remember, in the ninth dimension, witness, seventh dimension, witnessing, fifth dimension, witnesser. Well, the witnesser is the compassion. But when we are in the seventh dimension witnessing, their ego dissolves. All sense of physicalness dissolves. All sense of right and wrong dissolves. And we become that which is the force of the pure light. And we have been called because the fifth dimension is starting to become unstable. It is a unique moment, my angels, and there has never been a moment like this in my lifetime. I know that for a fact. Yeah. And we're grateful that we're all here right now.
This is why we're all here right
It
now.
is why we're here all right now. Thank you.
Find that crumpled little ticket in the back pocket.
Yeah, it's at Earth, please.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have some folks that have been standing by, and I noticed on the call board that we had a caller from Africa who came and kind of checks in and falls off. I don't know if that's bad connection, but hey, if you can call back, we'll grab you and say hi.
Yeah, so we're going to say hi to all of you guys right now, and then we're going to come back and talk to you a little bit more about what's going on. And remember to jump into the chat, either at Oneness Talk Radio. I know Shri's been trying to do a little bit of chat over at the YouTube at Oneness Talk Radio.
Hi a couple times.
We're doing the best we can. We have not been in the chat over at Oneness Talk Radio, but we will try. So Shri, let's go right to the top of the board. I see Monica. Namaste, Monica. Welcome, Angel.
Hi, dear.
Hey, Monica. Oh.
Don't hear you.
We do not. Okay. All right. We'll come back to you, Monica. Let's try somebody else to make sure it's not our call board. All right. Let's go. It looks like to California, and it looks like maybe it's Richard, maybe. Hi, in California. Namaste. And we have a call board issue, it looks like.
This is activity. Did we do star 3?
Oh, we did not do star 3. Okay, we might not have opened up the call board. I told you guys we were still way in the...
You have confirmed the start of the
There conference. It is.
Woo! Hoo!
Okay.
All right, that tells you where we're at. So here we are with Richard. Hey, Richard, how's it going?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, honey. Namaste. Welcome.
Hi. Welcome. Or hi.
How can we help you today?
I am intrigued by your show. I'm part of the Facebook group. Forget which one, but you guys popped up, and I really liked what you guys are up to, and I'm just really curious about what you guys are speaking about. I haven't really kind of understood much about multiple dimensions yet, and I'm just really curious about it.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for asking. And the first thing I just want to share with you, my love, is as I'm connecting with your energy, I'm feeling this. How do I describe it? It feels like an ignition of. They're calling it the ignition of life is swirling around you now. All you need to do is relax and remember. And I love that you turned out to be our first caller, and because all of our callers are always surrogates for so many other people. Because you, my love, showed up here today because you are ready. You're ready to not only know, you're ready to experience. And with all my heart and soul, please join us in the Lineage Holder program. Go to ShriandKira.com, right there on the homepage. Check it out. Give yourself that gift. This is a big month, and you are at a big moment in your life. Yeah. And as I'm connecting with you, I keep wanting to breathe. And thank you for the blessing of your energy coming into us today. We're really glad to meet you.
Yeah, I definitely feel transformational. I feel like my life has been transforming a lot in the past 4 years, especially.
Oh, yeah.
I also feel like I keep getting stuck in limiting thoughts, but then I work myself out of them.
Right on.
But I feel like I'm also kind of journeying alone right now. A lot of people in my life were not resonating with me, so...
You sound like a lineage holder. I mean, you're literally repeating like the lineage holder checklist, my love. And so thank you. We know how much we love you, and we definitely hope to connect with you again. So Shri, let's go back up now that we have the board open. And I think we had tried to say hi to Monica. Let's start right back there. Hey, Monica, are you still there?
Hi.
Hey, you are still there. Namaste. Welcome, honey.
Namaste, Shri and Kira. Thank you for taking my call.
Our pleasure.
I have a moment. Much love. I want to share with you that I'm here doing my AMI certification homework.
Yay! Congratulations.
All right.
Yay. Trying to get it in before Shri's birthday.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And I wanted to share with you, I felt inspired in my heart to make a $50 donation for the Lineage Holder class for someone who needs to take it.
Thank you.
And he's got blessing right now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your altruism and your heart. You know, when the Divine Directors came in with that process of reach out and invite people to create miracles for each other, we are overwhelmed with what's happening. It's like every person that comes into the scholarship list, somebody else comes in and supports. It's just been miraculous. It really has. So thank you for saying yes to miracles in your life, and thank you for creating a miracle for someone else. I am so honored.
Yes, a little for me and a lot more from God.
Thank you. Thank you. We love you so much, honey.
Oh, I love you. I love you both. Feel my arms around you and a big mwah.
Mwah. Right back at you. Namaste. Many blessings. All right, Shri, should we take the anonymous caller?
Absolutely.
All right, we have a secret anonymous blocked caller. Namaste. Welcome.
Hello?
Hi. Namaste, beloved. Try to turn down your radio, honey. We're getting feedback.
Yeah, we'll come right back to you, but go turn off the speaker.
We're going to take another person and come right back. All right, let's go to David, it looks like, in Boise, Idaho. Hey, Boise, Idaho.
Hello.
Hi, namaste.
Hi, this is
Jerry in Boise, Idaho.
Well, hi, Jerry in Boise, Idaho. What a gift.
So I'm just wondering, okay, so as you're talking about the anger and the honesty, this is what I've been really sitting in for quite some time, and I really want to bring resolution to it. There's a core anger within me around the distortion of the purity of Source. And I know this goes way, 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 way back. And I know the issue lies within me. It's not anything that anyone else has done. It's how I'm feeling the energy. So I need to resolve this anger so that it's no longer there. And I'm wondering if I can get some help on that. I'm not having luck with it. It keeps coming back again.
Well, first and foremost, my love, I want to share with you that as you were talking, I lost my breath, and I just had to bring my hands to my heart. The first thing I also want to share is that there are so many people that, as you were sharing, were saying, me too, me too, me too. So thank you, Jerry, for bringing this into today, especially, and for all of us that are working through this issue. Now, the first thing I want to share with you is that the anger that you're working through, you're right. It's core anger that has actually nothing even to do with this lifetime. There have been amplifications, is the word they're giving me, that started that. And in your case, when I look at your cosmic heart, which is that lineage holder heart, and then I see that high heart, which is the spiritual heart, and then I see your physical heart, right on the side of your physical heart, I see this teeny tiny little shadow, and that shadow is the anger. Mm-hmm. And it's hiding, and it's funny, it's like it moves. Like when I touch it, when I go to it, I see it move quickly, and that's because this anger is satisfying another energy that is not getting its needs met in your life right now. And honestly, my love, I'm very, very excited that we start July 16th. Going into this 7th dimensional space, even understanding what we're talking about on the show today is going to help unwind that. Most, including myself, most lineage holders have been battling anger lately in one way or another. It doesn't matter how you deal with it, just the fact that you notice it, or that it's been there, or that there have been, let's just use the word enhancements in trying to trigger anger. This is part of what we were talking about in the first half of the show. This is because that lower, like 55% of the 4th dimension has dissolved into that upper goop of the 3rd dimension. And what's left of the 4th dimension as kind of a buffer zone is moving the 5th dimensional stability. And Jerry, you've been working in the 5th dimension a while. So you are being core, moved to your core. We all are. That's why we are better together. That's why this is the moment. For you personally, they're saying, grab your staff, stand tall, and make your mark. They're saying it is your time. Everything has been lined up. Things are being put in front of you. When are you going to jump? And they're saying the minute you jump, the anger actually will dissolve. And that's for you. And thank you for bringing that to all of us, honey. We love you so much, Jerry.
Namaste.
Oh, love you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
No, namaste, my love. Many blessings. You know, and Tree, I just want to give a shout out. And I was thinking about the September equinox, which is what brought this in, because remember that this second cycle within the cycle is going to be August 15th through November 5th, which means that the September equinox is going to play a critical role in that moment. And big shout out to all of you that were just here with us for the Cosmic Origins event here at Tosa Blue Mountain.
Wonderful group that came.
Oh my God! And the miracles that happened, and the bona fide things that have happened, the pictures, we will get them out there. The fact that we had a literal, imagine going to Machu Picchu and there's nobody there. That's what happened to us at Ingapirka. We literally were the only people at Ingapirka. We were able to jump under the ropes. I was able to successfully bring everyone into the multidimensional portals individually. Violet flames, orbs and energy. It was beyond amazing. And we know that what has opened, especially when everyone went into the caves, because, this was the first group to initiate the caves that are here at Tosa Blue Mountain. Yeah. And so we know that the equinox, something profound is happening. Also, on a very humble personal note, this September equinox is my 59th cycle around the sun, and thereby it is a 5. And if you understand ascended numerology, there's obviously a reason why Sri and I have been invited to not retire right now. And so I just want to give a shout out ahead of time to all of you that have already registered to come and be here in person for that equinox.
We're going to party.
And we, oh yeah. But we also want to share with all of you that you were all with us when we were all traveling over this past extraordinary moment in June through the solstices that led us to this July moment, that led us to this miracle, the lineage holders. You have been with us the entire time, and we feel you. And we do want to let you know there are 2 spaces left for September. I don't even want to begin to profess what I think is going to happen then, but if you are feeling this energy that you are really ready to stand up and really be in that greater multidimensional tangible experience, then please come join us, because it really is quite extraordinary. And I just wanted to give that shout out before we went to our next caller, Sri. So can we go to our next caller?
Absolutely.
All right, are we going to Montana? Is that where that is? It looks like Montana, maybe Margot in Montana. Namaste, beloved one.
Hi.
Hi, honey. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
I've been feeling really dizzy and sick lately, and almost like I've had pneumonia and hives, and I'm not sure what's happening to me.
Well, breathe, first of all, and thank you for being such a master. As we mentioned in the first half of the show, that is literally what put Sri in the hospital just a few days ago. This is, again, part of that. If you are honestly, now I'm not saying that your 3D symptoms aren't going to cause you some challenges. You need to attend to that. However, you can breathe yourself through this. You can really bring yourself through this moment by recognizing that, again, this is because you are carrying such extraordinary mastery presence that you're just trying to hold on to too much right now. You are trying to do too much for too many. And this is your moment to find your core. This is your month. You take care of you. You remember who you are. Remember that the month of July is all about resolution. And by the end of this month, every single being on this planet, in whatever way it works for them, will absolutely know who they are, why they are on this planet, what their mission is, and where they stand. It is a huge month. So you're in this, I'm looking at all of your upper chakras, and it's really about hands to heart, love yourself even more, and the spin will relax into a new level of stability. Remember that your skin, the hives, that's our largest organ of elimination. More water, drink water, get into baths, give yourself a treat any way you can, go get a massage. This is a moment for you to really resolve a lot, and your body's helping you. So I'm really grateful you called in today, because a lot of people are going through this right now. So thank you for bringing it into all of us today. We are very grateful.
Can you give me a mini soul reading?
Oh, I just did, honey. So I'm going to ask you to listen to the show again. Listen to the broadcast again, because you really did get a soul reading. I need you to really breathe into that. All right, Sri, let's go to Anaheim, California, and it looks like Laura. Namaste, Laura. Hi.
Hello.
Namaste.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. Yes.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Namaste. Oh, I'm so happy. Can you hear me well?
Yes, honey.
Now I can. You can hear me better.
Now it's better.
Oh my goodness, so much I went through with all these classes and everything. I'm still working on the certification for medical intuitive. Lots of healing, lots of shifting. But the problem I'm calling to you today is, if possible, I can get a soul reading about my financial situation, because I feel like I'm stuck in a financial stuff for some reason, and
after playing Lakshmi.
So Laura, I'm going to interrupt you because we only have a few minutes left on the show, and I want to try to get you a few more people, and I see it. So I want you to bring your hand to your heart. And I do see, by the way, this gold Lakshmi standing behind you, and they're all saying the same thing. You are in the moment of the resolution of your divine presence as a lineage holder. And that through the process of this month, and it's going to happen little by little every week, and please pay attention to tomorrow's show, because we're really going to dive into how honesty heals and running ignites and understanding those energies, because that's exactly what's going on around you. You have been running in a way that has been igniting a consistent cycle. And even though it looks different, it's been the same. And this is your breakthrough moment. And so they're saying if you break through, it's like everything goes poof, at once, and it will happen this month. So stay focused, stay clear, let go of the fear, let go of anything that would tie you into density, and lift, girl, because you know how to do it. I love you, Laura. We'll see you July 16 at that Lineage Holder program. Mwah.
Namaste.
We love you. Namaste, honey. And Sri, I don't know, how much time do we have left, sweetheart?
Well, we got about a minute.
We have about a minute, and I've got like 100 people on hold. So, hey, first and foremost, tomorrow, same phone number. Please tune in at Official Sri and Kira over at YouTube for the Voice of Passionate Action. We will be on OnenessTalkRadio.com. We will also be on BBSRadio.com, iHeartRadio, right here at Oneness Talk Radio, and over at YouTube at Official Sri and Kira. We have a lot more to share. Can you feel it? You need to start thinking seventh dimension, because tomorrow we're going to take you there.
I encourage you to go back, go to the YouTube channel, watch the video again. There's a lot that's been delivered, and it isn't all just words.
No.
There's a lot of energy and a lot of encouragement that is coming your way.
Yes.
And beloved ones, it's been a delight to be with you. We so enjoy your company, your energy, your commitment, your love. And until we have the joy of being with you live next week.
And tomorrow.
And tomorrow at noon Pacific, trust yourselves and know that all is truly well.
Namaste.